are the Niners at fault for Brock Purdy's injury? They say no. They say essentially Brock's at fault, or it's a coincidence. What do you think?
I think the 49ers did not respect the Eagles pass rush. I mean, they clearly they were going to do the 49ers seem to take the fall. We're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to block things up how we block it, and that's that. And
Yeah.
like, what did they the Eagles every single they had but then they have 5 starters and double digit sacks. It's definitely 4.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, definitely 4.
right, they led
Yeah.
they led the NFL in sacks by 15. Like,
Yep.
I that's
but remember
4
last
or
week,
5
though? I don't know how the
games.
Niners felt, but didn't you hear a lot of Niner fans being like, man, Eagles aren't that good? Like, a lot of those
Yeah.
sacks came in like 3 games. Like, they haven't played anyone. I had people on my show being like, hey, the Eagles are frauds. And I feel like the Niners kind of felt that way, too. Eric Branch kept asking players on the team, is this Eagles team like the one team that can actually match your physicality? And a lot of guys are like, we'll see. Like
Yeah.
George Kittle was straight up like, they have great defense on paper, but they essentially haven't faced anyone like us yet. So we'll see. It's like, whoa. Well, I guess you found out.
Yeah. And
They had a lot more respect for Dallas than they had for Philly's defense, I thought.
yeah, everything Philly did to the Niners, they did it to everybody else. So like,
Right.
why would I know this whole argument, oh, like, why would the 49ers change their blocking well, they haven't played Philadelphia at all this year.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this
And clearly they didn't scout them well. They thought Hassan Reddick was just another guy.
this pass rush, it's not the same as Dallas's pass rush. It's not the
No.
same as it's not.
It's not. It's not. And what's wild about this play here is so Hassan Reddick beats Croft. Fletcher Cox beats McGlinchey. I mean, he got 2 guys
Fletcher
bearing down
Cox
on him.
And that's where I contend people say, oh, Purdy should have stepped up. If you look at it, I think if he steps up, he takes a hit from Cox.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Cox is turning that edge. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so, and like you say, oh, well, he's holding they hold the ball for 3.8 seconds. Like, the play is designed for him to hold the ball longer than possible.
It's a long developing play. It's a 7-step drop. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where you have to come in knowing who your opponent is and be like,
why are you calling a slow developing line? Why are you calling
yes.
it? Who do you think you're playing? Yeah.
Right. I would have
Disrespectful.
And to me also, I would have been less concerned with the interior guys than the outside guys because of Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy isn't showing the ability to maneuver in the pocket, and at least if it's in the inside, it's an inside guy, he'll be able to see him. He wasn't able to see Reddick. So
he's looking left.
Yeah, and if you're going to design
plays
it, like,
look left, yeah,
right, and then
so that's the blind side.
And then on top of that, you're doubling team. They're the worst pass rusher out of all.
Real quick. So you DM me during the week, and you're like, check this out. They're double teaming Joseph. Then I tweeted it. A bunch of people said, Grant, you're an idiot. Then Brian Baldinger makes the same observation. A whole video about it today. You pointed it out first. Baldinger agrees with you. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, it looks just like our run play. Yeah, but look at the matchups, man. Look at the matchups. You double-teamed a guy who wasn't rushing the quarterback. And he was so not rushing the quarterback that he was the guy who covered the fumble.
Yeah. So I understand the concept of you want to make that play look like a run play. You want to, but there's times where you have to say fuck that and worry about the player. I'm a big one. The matchup, the opposing player. Remember that, like, I'm a big believer of football players
win games, not scheme. Players win games, not scheme.
Correct.
Matchups win playoff games, not scheme.
Got to handle Hassan Reddick. He's got to get team.
You can't put your team in a position where the season rests in Tyler Kroft's hands. You can't let that happen.
And then on top of that, like, when I was coming up in the coaching ranks, an older coach is telling me, like, hey coach, they get paid too. Meaning the opposing it. You don't think the Eagles defense are like, man, you think the Eagles are never like, man, we can't have Reddick matched up on Croft. Like, no, we can't have a matchup. Like, you don't think they looked at that matchup and they're like,
did you hear what Reddick said? They asked, like, what'd you think when you saw Tyler Kroft blocking you? And he said, bad things is what he said.
Yeah. that was a matchup that the Eagles looked at and like, we'll take it. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
so
to me, putting Croft on Reddick is like exposing your king immediately in a chess game and losing on the fourth play. It's like, what was that, dude? Like, what opening move was that? I've never heard of that one. You lost in 4 moves. That's essentially what you did.
and I know,
You
so
know?
and I know, like the likelihood of your quarterback getting hurt is very low. But like coming into this game, you know what you had behind Purdy. Like you're literally down to your third quarterback this year.
Right,
You know what was behind him.
right,
You knew what this pass rush row you should have coming into the
right.
game because it's been on film all year. So you should have came into this game with an objective of minimizing that pass rush. And like
We've
I
seen them
remember
do that with the Rams and Aaron Donald. They've gone against game wreckers. They didn't let Micah Parsons wreck the game. They never let Aaron Donald wreck the game. They let Hassan Reddick wreck the game because they didn't think he was that good. I don't know. He is that good. He has 19 and a half sacks. Did you know that? 19 and a half.
and Grant, on top of that, he also forces fumbles. Like that's the fact that he forced the fumble. That's not a surprise either because you've been
Yeah.
doing that as a whole career too.
You know, it's funny. The Niners have been playing a lot of teams they knew, teams they had familiarity with. I guess they didn't know Philly. They know now, though. They know now. I think they keep lamenting the fact that they didn't really have a chance. They didn't give themselves a chance to compete. Next year, maybe they will.